Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and for a change of pace, we're not going to be opening up booster packs in this video. I'm going to show you guys a variety of little different things. I got sent something free for in the mail. Got some kind of unique items for consignment. Talk about a few things that I bought, some auctions, and then I'm also show you guys some errors and different things like that. This first thing that I'm going to show you, actually I got from this guy right here. Got it in the mail. I definitely didn't buy it. I don't even know if he reached out to me. If you did, man, I'm so sorry that I forgot about it. But Inked Gaming actually sent me a custom-made playmat, which is really thoughtful. I'll show it to you guys. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get on here, but it starts out with Pokemon at the top, and then he obviously watches some videos because look, it's got my code TCA5 on here, and the 3 sites that you can use it on: Troll and Toad, Black Card X, and PokeDreamer.com. I sell singles there, Troll and Toad, many other merchants sell there. Black Card X is like supplies, and then PokeDreamer is stuff like this right here to hold like PSA cases, or PSA cards, just the cases. And then it says TCA Gaming on Linktree. You put a little first edition symbol over there. It's got TCA right there. And it's really simple, so it's well done. I really appreciate it. And I don't have a playmat that I keep here, so I'm going to put it down, and it's going to be the new playmat that I keep up here for the back side of my videos. I don't know how much of this is going to be able to be seen on camera, but usually when I point it down, it looks like that code TCA5 is going to be right there in the middle. So that's really cool, very thoughtful. I thank you a lot for this. Again, I didn't pay for this, and he didn't pay me to talk about it, but I think it's really cool. Like even the Pokemon right here, the little logo, it's like pixelated, which is really cool. So maybe he does custom playmats. I would think that looking at this, that's exactly what he does. Maybe reach out to him. He can do some kind of cool playmat for you too. Moving along though, we have some stuff in on consignment and some unique stuff. Like this right here I've never sold before. This is a EX Sandstorm theme deck case, like a display. I never really messed with the EX series theme decks much at all. But man, this one is nice. It's in really good condition. And yeah, it's going to be up for sale. That one right there, the same guy he sent in. This is a shadowless 2-player starter, and it is opened, but also confirmed that it's shadowless. And it's got the sealed contents, including the sealed Machamp. You can see that right there. So these should be up on my eBay by the time you guys see this here on YouTube, unless they sold. I don't know what the prices are. He sent me some prices on it, and I'm going to get them listed later today. He also sent a Chinese. These are legit. This is an overgrowth theme deck. Chinese is a language that Pokemon was printed in, and like you can see right here, it's missing the counters. It's got the red logos on there. That's all stuff that would have happened to prevent counterfeiting. Now there were a lot of fakes that were printed, but these are not fakes. And in addition to that, he actually sent, right here we have, these are unlimited Chinese base set booster packs. Again, you can kind of see like the red logo, which is what you want to look for on that era for languages from that region of the world. And these are also first edition Chinese booster packs. So again, really rare stuff. Not as expensive as English still, but quite rare. And then also he sent, this is English, this is a pre-constructed theme deck display for base set, and what's kind of cool about it, you can kind of see right there, it's not the gold strips, but it has only the US locations on the bottom, which there are several variations. You got the ones that have gold strips, that's the most rare, and then after that you have some that don't have the gold strips, kind of like this. They only have one location and no logos. That's the second most rare, second most likely to be shadowless. And then this is the third most likely to be shadowless because it has the logos, but still only the one location. And then after that, it gets into multiple locations with the logos. And you've also got the UK print, or not the UK print, but like the European, or I believe that one is from the United Kingdom. I can't remember if there's an Australian one or not. I know that there's theme decks or base set 2 starter decks as well for the UK, but that'll be an interesting one. I bet that's well over $5,000 because that's usually what people want to ask, especially for the variation ones that give you a better chance at shadowless. And then last, he actually sent something that I wasn't going to show on camera just because of all the fakes that have been coming around, but this is a fake fossil booster pack. And I know I said we weren't going to open up packs, but we will actually open this up at the end of the video, and I'm actually going to do a comparison for you towards a real pack, and just so that you can see some of the things that you can look out for fake booster packs. Next up, we've got these. So you guys saw we opened up some of these Magic Ruler packs already on camera. The guy, he lowered his price from $500 from $550 to $500 down to $375, and we also decided to put some of these in auction. So these are no reserve auctions. There should be 7 different packs that have gone up, 1 per day. Because we put one in auction, they got $350, and he's asking $375, so his price looks about right. But just to kind of speed up the sales some, we sent some to auction. So if you were looking for some of these are 100% box fresh, unweighed from a 24 count box, and they are in auction on eBay now, and the starting price is a penny. And if the sales keep doing okay, I imagine he will keep on sending them to auction. Next up, I bought some cards. So bought these two. Got the left leg of the Forbidden One. This is this is Exodia for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's kind of like if you get all 5 pieces, you got the head, the left arm, the right arm, the left leg, right leg, you win the game. In fact, that's exactly what the Exodia head says, and you have to have them in your hand. So it's kind of like the big dog that you can get. Blue Eyes is more similar to what the Charizard is. I'm not sure if there's an Exodia equivalent on the Pokemon side. But from the original series, these are, from what I can tell, reprints, but still very cool. And they have the exact same printing as the original, but it was probably these. I'm pretty sure these are reprints. That's why they're still relatively cheap to find, even though everything on the card is the same, the years, copyrights, all that kind of stuff. You can tell a difference in the stock. But they're both Gem Mint 10. And here is actually an original. I had to have it recased. This is a left arm of the Forbidden One. It's first edition LOB. They didn't have a reprint of that as far as I know. And there's a glossy and a wavy version. Many people say that the wavy version was first. I believe the glossy version was first just because of the uncut sheet that I have, and because it's way more unique on the surface than the wavy version, which you see in several other sets past it. I know that's like a hot topic, among Yu-Gi-Oh! Collectors, but it's hard to deny that the wavy version usually brings a higher premium. So to me, the glossy version is much harder to grade, but I don't know, it's one of those things where it doesn't really matter, but a lot of people can get pretty heated over it. Either way, I'll take a first edition PSA 10 LOB holo, whether it's wavy or glossy, any day over most other just regular wavy or non-glossy cards. they're just really hard to get. And here's, I'm gonna kind of shine it on the surface. You kind of see what I'm talking about, this glossy thing. Hopefully, if the ring light isn't just being completely uncooperative. This right here is a reprint. It's almost for sure, just because of the way the holo is. But it's a little bit more, less subtle in person if you're looking at this kind of thing. And then next up, we have this. I finally got it back from PSA. It took a couple months to have them recase this. When I sent it in, I reported that there was an error because they made it as the number 6 when this is the no number error. And they ignored the report where I said, hey, this is incorrect. This, you didn't put it in correctly. And then even after they graded it, I tried putting a stop on the shipment, and then they just didn't do it. So after I got the card back, you guys, some of you saw it on Instagram, where I actually showed me pulling this out of the PSA box, and you can see that the number 6 was right there. I reached out to them. Finally, they approved for this to be sent back, and because there was only one sale ever for this card, which was $493,000 or whatever it was at Golden Auctions, that's the insured value that I put down. And it took them a while to finally recase it, and then after they recased it, it'd been like 3 weeks, and they said it had been completed, but they hadn't shipped it. And almost any time that there's something graded or completed, I get notification of shipment within 1 or 2 days. And it had been 3 weeks. And finally, I was able to get a hold of somebody through a representative that's been very helpful to me. And she had someone else call me and they said, well, the reason we can't ship it is because it has to go to a physical address since we're sending it in a armored truck. I'm like, well, okay, well, I guess that makes a little sense because I'd given them my P.O. box number. And eventually it did arrive. It did not arrive in an armored truck, otherwise we would be doing a YouTube video on that. Someone did arrive with it in a vehicle, but it was just like a regular type vehicle. And I had to sign for it, had to have my license with me. In fact, he stuck around for 45 minutes because they wrote down the wrong phone number for me, so he couldn't get a hold of me, and I was gone when he first arrived. But it was kind of cool. It was super crazy packaged in this little bag, and I don't know, I'm just glad to have it back. You know, it's the highest sale for any card. I do believe that card was relisted though, so it probably wasn't paid for. I don't know what it's going to sell for the second go around. I have had offers. I've had an offer of $400,000. I had several over $350,000 for this card, and I don't know. You know, it's kind of crazy to think that this right here, being a blue back, no number, Charizard, there's only 2 in the world. You know, it's that high of a card. But if you think about it, you know how big Pokemon is. You know, what's the limit on, you know, something like this? It's hard for me to say. Maybe I'd trade it for a base first edition box. I mean, I really don't know. All right, next up, we're going to move into some errors for CGC, and then we'll open up that fossil pack at the end. I know I'm doing a lot of talking today, but this is a lot of stuff that I just haven't had a chance to catch up with you guys on, and most of the time I'm doing the opening, so hopefully this isn't too boring for a lot of you. First thing I'm going to gripe a little bit about is this Charizard here. This is actually from a board game, and you guys know that I completed the Charizard Master Set, but they started approving Japanese cards for the Charizard Master Set. I thought it was only English. But apparently any language can be added to it. So there's been several Japanese cards added, including this one right here. And apparently you can add any language and anything that has Charizard in the name. So this game board card right here from Canada, little tiny thing. I mean, it's not even a regular size card. This is actually in the Charizard Master Set now. So I had to buy the game board and possibly grade this thing, even though it's going to be like probably like a 4. I mean, unless I find a sealed copy of that game board and, you know, send the card in, I don't know if I'm ever going to get that in a PSA 10. But it's so, I've used this word several times, it's deflating. It's like, I worked so hard to complete that set in PSA 10. I thought it was all English, and come to find out it could be any language, and that's just going to be so impossible. I even talked to PSA, I was like, can I have an English only Charizard Master Set? You know, it doesn't have to be this one. It could be, you know, another one that I submit for, and they said no. Pretty much the answer was no, because anytime you submit a Master Set for a player, it could be any language, basically any card that has the name in it. And I don't even know how this got graded by PSA. I mean, think of all the cards that they reject, and they graded this. It's not even card size. I mean, it's tiny. So to me, that one just made absolutely no sense. And I don't know, I kind of like the fact that they're open to grade more stuff, but that, I don't know. It just, I could probably go on for a while about that, but I don't want it to reflect my overall view of PSA. I still know, I believe that they're a great company. They've done wonders for the Pokemon community, so I want to put that in there. All right, next up, I got some stuff back from CGC. I have a lot of errors still there. These are a little different. If you're looking at it, you can probably tell what's going on. It says the centering is OC. And if you're looking at the front, you're like, well, that's not that OC. But if you flip it over, boom, there you go. It actually shows 4 cards. So these are pretty cool. And it's upside down. And it's not the only card that I have this way. There are a few others. So we got the switch. You can see it upside down. A misalignment. It got fire energies too, and this one actually has the white bar on the side, so that would have been on the edge of the sheet. Let's see, how many more fire energies do I have? So there's 2 more fire energies. Both of those got the 8. There's 3 more fire and 1 grass. If any of these have anything special going on, just kind of all OC. I'm pretty sure this come from a theme deck. There's 2 more fire energies. And I also have Gust of Wind and energy removal. What I have had potion and switch. So Bill was the only common that I didn't have, or common trainer. And then I also got, let's see, we've got a Palkia here. I pulled this from the pack, Shining Legends, and you can see that the top left and the bottom left are both squared off on the corner. So it is labeled as an error. And then actually have two 9.5s the same way. Both the top left and the bottom left corners are squared off, whereas the other corners are rounded. So I thought those were pretty cool. I've got a lot more errors at CGC. It's just taken them a really long time to grade them. I mean, like I said, these have been gone for over a year. Just they have to adjust, I guess, for certain cards like that. All right, last we are going to look at this Zapdos Artwork Fossil Booster Pack. So this one is first edition. This is actually a heavy pack. I brought it up here. Still have several of these heavy booster packs left. All right, so if we're looking at it, if you can't tell right off the bat, I mean, the color is way off. However, if you're a mom or somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with these, I mean, this color might not be too crazy if you're looking at it from a computer screen. But for me, the biggest red flag that I would have saw immediately was the crimp. So if you're looking at this, this is how the old Wizard of the Coast packs are crimped, not like this. I'm not even sure what this is. But usually that's a big red flag. So if you see that, then it's probably a counterfeit. Now the color for sure is off. The font is a little different, but really the only noticeable thing from the front would be the crimp. There are unlimited packs without that first edition stamp, so don't let that throw you off. If you're looking at the back, most of the print is exactly the same, except for something that you see on a lot of counterfeits, mainly because it's copy and pasted the information over. It's just bad punctuation. So like if you look at this, you can kind of see how the words don't end at the same place. But if you didn't have something to compare to and you were just looking at this and you're reading it, what immediately comes out to me is like right here, there's an extra space between number 1 and Pokemon. And then there's no space right here between master question mark and then the next sentence where it says master. So that's something that if you see, you definitely want to think, oh, that's a red flag. Now, if you look at the front again and you're looking at the back, if you're looking at it from afar, you might not be able to tell this kind of stuff. But if you start to look closer, you realize, this isn't the camera. It's actually kind of, it's blurry. And you can see the little dots, the print dots in there. It's almost like it's matted. And whereas if you're looking at this, you're not going to see that. It's a really clear type picture. It's not blurry. So you can see this one is almost blurry like. And I will say this right here where the trading card game, where it almost looks like it's got an extra border or print to it, that can happen on legit packs. Like the border around trading card game could be a little bit thicker, so don't let that be an indicator, because you can see that on here and sometimes down here around this as well. But if the color itself, like in the background or the Pokemon, is in any way blurry or has that matte feel to it, then it's probably going to be a fake. And of course you can always reach out to people in the hobby, and if you sent them a picture of this thing right here, they would immediately be able to say, yeah, that's a counterfeit. You don't want to mess with that. And but otherwise, it looks kind of cool. I mean, it's probably a lot cheaper, but I never want to encourage you guys to mess around with the bootleg cards and stuff, because it does hurt the hobby. Now, let's look at the cards on the inside. So, looking at it immediately, you can tell there's a little bit of a color difference. When you flip the card around, you have a non-holo Mewtwo. You know something's going on there. And then also, if you look at the top here, see if I can get the focus. It's almost like the cards were punched out. They don't have that smooth edge. It's got those little dots. So most likely these were in some kind of punch out. But anyways, Mewtwo is from base set. It's not from Fossil. And it's always a holo. Dragonite, that could be from this set, but that the border isn't even cut correctly. Got that notch right there. Kingler, Graveler, Weezing. You should only have 3 uncommons. You definitely shouldn't have 2 rares. You shouldn't have a holographic from a different set. There's another uncommon. There's a common, uncommon. Here's another rare. And this is a holo from base set. You can even see where it was just like copy pasted or done something, because it's got the holo actually in the background. Both of these. It's got the little stars playing through. So the cards themselves are definitely fake. Most likely, let me rip one of these in half. Let's do the Kabuto. Yeah, you can see right here there's no graphite layer, but you would have a black, bluish black layer in the middle of that card. You can actually hold a card up like this and see it if you're looking at it really closely and you've got decent eyesight. But of course, if you rip it in half and it is real, you just ripped a real card in half. And hate that happened to you, but I just wanted to show it to you. That is another way to tell, but you're going to have to look really closely at it like this. And something else you can do, because that graphite layer usually blocks. Let's see if I can get. There we go. Use that graphite layer blocks light. This is actually shining directly in light, but you can read Pokemon right there. Whereas if you take a real card, I bet you could even take a code card. Let me take a code card. Well, you can read the code card. Let's see. You don't really see the, yeah, there's no graphite layer. I thought there might be a graphite layer in the code card, but there's not. And there's a free code for somebody. I don't know if maybe I can do it through the PSA case on this one. Yeah, you definitely can't read Pokemon. That's a hollow. Let's try non-hollow. Because normally you can see a little bit of light through if you're looking hard, but I mean, you can tell. I mean, this is nothing like that other one. I mean, there's the light. It's definitely on. Stick the Dragonite in front of it. It's a different situation. And if you take this ring light off here, let me shut it off for a second. But it's going to be even more obvious. Yeah. You can definitely see what's going on there. Usually they're translucent. Whereas with this, you can kind of start to make out something. Got to be really on it. You can see it right there. But it's a different situation. Like this is, way more visible. Like I'm holding it back. You can see, 2 inches, and you can read the whole Pokemon thing. Or if I held it back 2 inches on this, it probably wouldn't even show anything. Yeah. You can kind of make out a little bit of light, by looking at the borders, but it's a that graphite layer normally blocks out a lot of light, and that's a little bit easier, a little less destructive than ripping the card in half. But anyways, I hope you guys learned a little something. I know many of you already know this stuff, but thought I would just rehash it out because fakes have gotten pretty rampant, and I do not want to support that really in any way. So while this was kind of cool opening up the pack, man, I'm just ready to be done with those altogether. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully we'll open up some pack stuff very soon. Thanks.